I'm John Sadler from Sadler Sports Insurance, and the purpose of this short video is to give Dixie Youth Credentials Committees some quick tips on how to verify that tournament team insurance meets the rulebook requirements. Here's the Dixie Youth rule that applies to insurance requirements for tournament teams that participate in all officially sanctioned and other approved tournaments such as sub-district, district, state, and World Series. In summary, it requires both a $50,000 accident policy and a $1 million general liability policy, along with some other minimum standards that the policies must meet. This rule is important because it protects the teams, tournament host, and Dixie Youth Baseball, Inc., as well as the respective directors, officers, employees, and volunteers against getting sued. It also assures that the team players and volunteers will be able to get the medical treatment that they deserve in the event of an injury. In the past, some credentials committees have experienced difficulty in administering the requirements. Some have allowed uninsured teams to slip by undetected. It's difficult for a layperson to examine the insurance documents for compliance due to several factors. First, there are different types of proof of coverage documents. One team might bring a certificate of insurance and another may bring an entire policy. Second, each document may look slightly different depending on the insurance carrier. Third, you may need to examine two sets of paperwork for each team, one for the accident policy and one for the general liability policy. Fourth, it's difficult to examine coverages for compliance due to the use of technical insurance terms. As a result of these difficulties, the board asked us to develop instructions, checklists, and this video to make this process easier. To access the tools, you need to go to www.sadlersports.com, click on the Dixie Youth link, scroll down to the section entitled Insurance Requirements for Tournament Teams. And by the way, this same section should also be posted on the Dixie Youth website under the Insurance tab. Click here, Insurance Requirements for Tournament Teams. Will take you to this page, and there's a listing here of the rulebook insurance requirements rule. Also, step-by-step instructions for the Credentials Committee, and this would be the starting point for all analysis. And there are two checklists that are referenced here, and the instructions will indicate the appropriate time to use each one of the two checklists. The first step is to gather the proof of coverage documents for each team for both accident and general liability. The second step is that for each proof of coverage document, you must verify that the name of the insured organization is properly listed under the name of either the tournament team or the league represented by the tournament team. In addition, you must verify that the coverage effective and expiration dates encompass the entire length of the tournament. The third step is to determine the source of the insurance. If the policy is one of the 60% that is through the endorsed DYB Sadler Insurance Plan, no further review is necessary, as it automatically meets all of the minimum standards. As a matter of fact, the endorsed plan greatly exceeds the standards. You would determine if it is through the endorsed DYB Sadler plan by looking for the names of Sadler & Company and Dixie Youth Baseball on the certificate of insurance. If the policy is not through the endorsed plan and the team presents the insurance agent checklist document, the Credentials Committee must review the checklist to verify that all minimum standards have been checked off and that the form has been signed by the insurance agent and dated. If so, no further review of the policy is necessary. And finally, if the policy is not through the endorsed plan and the team does not present the insurance agent checklist document, you must use the document entitled Credentials Committee Insurance Checklist to help you sift through the requirements for each policy. In order to pass inspection, all minimum standards must be met. If the policy does not pass any of the tests listed, the team should be denied participation until they can comply. you should refer them to the Sadler Sports Insurance website where they can buy coverage and instantly print off their proof of coverage documents. Here's the insurance agent checklist that will be distributed to all leagues via U.S. mail prior to the start of the season. And on the back side of this checklist is a notice from the commissioner that reviews the rule as regards the insurance requirements for tournament teams. Now, this form is only used when either the accident or general liability is not purchased through the endorsed DYB Sadler plan. This checklist is to be completed by the insurance agent and presented with the proof of coverage documents to the Credentials Committee. It's self-explanatory and shifts the burden to the insurance agent to verify if the policy or policies meet the minimum required standards. This form gets the Credentials Committee out of the business of having to review coverages. Here's the Credentials Committee Insurance Checklist. This form is a fallback and applies only if both, number one, the insurance policy was not purchased through the endorsed DYB Sadler plan, and number two, if the tournament team did not produce a fully completed copy of the insurance agent checklist with the proof of coverage documents. This form should be printed off by the Credentials Committee and should be completed by the Credentials Committee. In conclusion, the Credentials Committees need to know where to find the instructions and documents on either the Sadler or the DYB website. The most important thing is to follow the exact instructions under the document entitled Instructions for Credentials Committee. This will walk you through the entire process step by step. If you have any questions, please call Sadler Sports Insurance at 800-622-7370. Thank you.